This is a free sample of the book, The Road to Wrinkled Bedsheets by Cairo Copeland. The first half of this book is posted right here on YouTube, free for everyone to listen to. If you like this content and want to hear or read the rest, or want to listen to it free of ads, visit reinventideal.com/bedsheets. The book is available on Kindle, paperback, and Audible at reinventideal.com/bedsheets.
Chapter 4. What women need to have sex. Knowing what motivates a woman to have sex, what's worth exploring now is what a woman needs to have sex. Just a reason to want it is not good enough for them. As a man, you know if you want to have sex with a woman within 3 seconds. A woman knows within 3 minutes if sex is even in the cards for her with you. But from there are many other considerations on her part that still need evaluation. During the period of evaluation by her, many guys will resort to simping in an attempt to win her favor, or get angry and upset because she gave them blue balls. The real problem here is that most males do not understand what a woman needs before getting into bed with you. 1. Comfort and trust. Risk is one factor because females are the weaker sex. They are more at risk while being alone with a male. Another risk is to her reputation. Sadly, in today's world, if a woman that is a 10 sleeps with enough guys, she's no longer considered to be a 10. Slut-shaming in today's world is mostly done by other women, but what works even more against you is that the opinions of other women matter more to her than yours or even her own. I can tell you from first-hand experience that there is no difference in quality when it comes to women that do or do not have sex on the first date. And there is no difference in enjoyment of the dirty deed between women with many past partners and women that are virgins. Her sexual past should not matter to you because you're not looking to marry her. Even if you are looking to get married, you should not make that perceivable. It's more important for her to know that you won't consider her a slut and that you'll provide a good quality sexual experience. That way, the way most guys go about doing the latter is also very wrong. Many times they will brag about their own sexual past, hoping it makes her think that she perceives him to be wanted by other women. That never works. The way to make her feel comfortable about her safety, her sanctity, and quality of the sexual experience is by having made an emotional connection with her before getting to the bedroom. Connecting with her emotions will override almost all objections because almost nothing is stronger than a woman's emotional inclination. It's why politicians try to appeal to women so often and campaign on emotion. Do not mistake her objections for the idea that she does not want to have sex or doesn't like it. She's only putting up what pickup artists would call her anti-slut defense, or ASD. She's conditioned to have this in her as well. We may call that the anti-slut instinct, or ASI. She is merely obeying the social imperatives she's conditioned to adhere to. If you keep a cool head, you overcome the objections. Sometimes they exist just to see how you'll react to them. They also do this to measure your sexual intelligence. In the book, Don't Be Sympathetic, it was explained that sexual intelligence is your ability to make women feel comfortable being sexual around you because you are in control of both your sexual urges and how you choose to express them. Women are grossed out by simps and must know you are not one. Simps may get very upset, disappointedly mopey, or passive-aggressive with a woman when she denies him sex. 2. She needs to feel that it's worth the risk. You know of the risks that surround sex. STIs are just one of them that thankfully we figured out how to avoid with condoms. But still, even with all the joy this invention has brought to the world, many guys still neglect to keep them handy and in use. You as a male should always have them with you because what's worse than an STI is ruining your life with an unplanned pregnancy, not to mention the potentiality of ruining the unplanned child's life as well. I know what that's like firsthand because I am the result of an unplanned pregnancy. It's one of the shittiest realities a kid can come to learn about their existence. In female circles, they often bitch about guys that knock them up and disappear the moment the guy learns about her pregnancy, because these same guys refused to wear a condom because they say it doesn't feel as good. Beyond pregnancy and STIs, a woman is also at risk of judgment from society. While your nighttime fun probably won't be recorded and streamed on Pornhub, many insecure guys like to brag about their sexual experiences in an attempt to win approval from other guys. If you ever meet a guy that points out a woman to you and says, "See her? I did her," you can bet he's a very insecure guy. From all the years I spent coaching guys, I can tell you that the most sexually successful men were the ones that were the least vocal about it. Sex was such a normal and regular fixture in their lives that they felt no need to highlight it to make sure other people noticed it. When it gets out, spreads around, and the bitchy, slut-shaming women in her circle find out about it, they'll make her feel terrible about doing it. The reason these women slut-shame is because they don't have the beauty privilege to be sluts themselves, or they don't have the freedom to be sexual because of an overprotective and overbearing family or community. A deficiency in physical attractiveness and freedom to be sexual is a handicap in their ability to fully exercise their hypergamy. So too is their restrictive environment. That is why ugly feminists are so angry at beautiful women and highly sexual women, because these beautiful sexual women are experiencing a part of life that they will never get to have. Lastly, there's also the risk of her having to go through an awkward experience. Because so many guys get their sexual education from a government school system that employs unqualified idiots for every subject, most teachers in sex ed know nothing about it. Or worse, the guy learns how to have sex from porn. Either way, it ends up being an unenjoyable experience for the woman. His lack of pleasure knowledge and experience may cause him to finish prematurely before she even had the chance to feel anything. Then, figuring out what to do now creates a very awkward tension. So you must always use protection and make it known to her that you will. You must make a strong effort to get to know her, provide her with good feelings, and connect with her emotions. And for fuck's sakes, you must learn how to dish out a good fuck for that matter too. 3. She needs to feel aroused. According to healthywoman.org, 62% of women admitted to not being satisfied with their sex lives. Why is that? It's because they find so few men arousing. Women report finding 80% of all males below average in terms of attractiveness. In every other book I've written, I've stressed heavily the importance of lifting weights to get into good shape. I won't repeat that stress here, but I will also stress that another reason women find most males so unattractive is because most males behave like simps. Most males follow the blue pill conditioned approach for getting sex. Develop a one-itis for a woman, be at her beck and call with free attention, free validation, and be her meal ticket for the first 10 dates. Women may like all those things for how they benefit from them, but they find the guy who does them to be horribly unsexy. Instead of her getting the idea that you're waiting your place in line or ready to heed her call whenever she decides, you want her to believe that you are a rare and fleeting opportunity that she better grab up before it's gone. Instead of being like Leonard waiting for Penny or like Steve Urkel waiting around for Laura Winslow, you want her to think of you as the hot guy at the pool party on spring break. The guy that she remembers going back to the hotel room with because he was cute, she was drunk, and one thing led to another. Presenting yourself as a fleeting opportunity is done by creating an opening, alluring vibe, by practicing the craft of allure, which will be covered later. 4. She needs you to initiate it. We know that women do in fact want sex, just not all the time, but also know that they really, really want sex during ovulation. During that time of the month, they are just as hungry for it as guys are all the time. But if that's the case, why don't they say so? One of my clients once asked me. While they want sex, they don't want to be the ones responsible for it. To be responsible, take the lead, initiate, and move things forward. Those are masculine characteristics. If a woman did them, she would feel more masculine and less feminine. The less feminine she feels, the less of a sexual mood she'll be in. Whereas the more feminine she feels, the more sexual she wants to get. It all works out perfectly because her femininity is what you're attracted to. Her femininity is also what inspires her to be submissive. In order for her to be submissive, she needs a partner to submit to, but if you put it on her to make the moves, she will not feel submissive. Therefore, she will lose her sexual urge and arousal for you. Notice the way women often talk about sex and how it occurred. He swept me off my feet. I let go. He led me through it. I came along for the ride. It just sort of happened. All these phrases suggest that the man made it all happen and she willfully gave in. They never say things like, I jumped his bones, or I tore off his clothes and had my way with him. Instead, they're more likely to fantasize about him tearing off her clothes and having his way with her. You'll also see more proof of this by reading women's fantasies. Rarely in those fantasies do you read about a woman taking the lead and initiating sex. Further, when a woman is more aggressive and pushes for sex, it's typically because she's more of a dominant personality. There's nothing inherently wrong with that, but bear in mind that a woman who's dominant with her sexuality is more likely to be dominant in every aspect of her life, so she could be more controlling, pushy, and bitchy, none of which are attractive traits. You taking the initiative, though, does not mean to act thirsty, making your sexual desire obvious, or being blatantly perverted with her. Taking the lead is not done by grabbing her butt or saying, damn girl, you got great tits, I just want to come all over them. It is done by being sexual in a more subtle, refined way, having sexual innuendos sprinkled throughout in your flirting, making the moves with her gradually, and always be leading things forward with intentionalism, like a dancer that takes the lead in a conscious way to keep his follow on her toes and excited for what move he may do next. Needs that women have specifically are sex, security, social acceptance, emotional expressions, and having her opinions heard. To get her to have sex, you must not make her feel that the other needs will be violated. She won't have sex if she feels unsafe, if it will make her feel socially ostracized, or if it will force her to suppress her emotions. So you must be conscious of all her needs when you seek sex from her.
Thank you for listening to this free sample of the book, The Road to Wrinkled Bedsheets by Cairo Copeland. If you enjoyed it and want to hear or read the rest, or want to listen to it free of ads, visit reinventideal.com/bedsheets. The book is available on Kindle, paperback, and Audible at reinventideal.com/bedsheets.